Hello, everyone, and welcome to Whale FM Makersplace edition. Today, we have some very special guests with us from Makersplace curation of Colors of the Rainbow, a collection of 20 plus artworks varying in style and story that celebrate the abundance of creativity in the Nigeria based NFT artist community. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us here today.
Hey, hello. Thank you so much for having us.
Really excited to be talking with you guys. I'd love to just start things off. Now, Nine Green Rats. I don't know if you'd like to go by that as your Twitter handle or otherwise, but if you could just give us a brief introduction to the curated project and what it's all about.
Oh yeah. I like to see Colors of the Rainbow as not just a project. It's an experience of experiences. Yeah. So what we came about, how this came about is that we thought about having an exhibition. Yeah. In form of a visual art, like in form of visual art that would vary in style and story. Yeah. But this story that each of the individual artists are going to be expressing is going to be from deep within them. So like an expression of their memories and experiences. It's you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. And we have more than enough time to get into that. So yeah.
Right. Well, I appreciate it. And doesn't the rainbow have significance in Nigerian culture in particular, right?
The thing about rainbows is that we have lots of myths surrounding that, like a whole lot of myths. Like most of them are hilarious as fuck. Sorry, language, but yeah, most of them are really, really hilarious. Sometimes they say when you see rainbows, it's elephants giving birth, or I have a lot of my brothers here that they can talk more about this, especially Phil. Phil Ill is our specialist when it comes to the traditional part of all of this. So can you just help me out here, brother?
Right. Or even in other cultures, right? A leprechaun at the end or something, right? So maybe the hilarity spans the
Yeah,
globe.
you get something like that.
Right.
So basically, it's usually attached with the experiences, and me being me, I I kind of find it easier, yeah, to attach my memories to things. When I think about something, I have lots of stories to tell about it. Oh, when I saw this, a whole lot of things were happening when I saw this. So I can easily relate stories to certain things that I see. I don't know if that makes any sense. But that was how Colors of the Rainbow as a theme came to be. When I smell certain things, when I see certain colors, I get memories of things. And I wanted to believe that this kind of feeling that I have is some sort of a shared experience. Is that I am not the only person feeling that way when I think of certain things. I don't know if that makes any sense. So yeah, I
Yeah,
thought about,
yeah,
okay,
like a shared experience for sure.
yeah, yeah. So I thought about, how can I put this into test? How can I find out if I'm the only one in this if I'm the only one that has this somewhat, let me call it ability for now. If I'm the only one who has this kind of ability or not. So I put out an open call to reach out to various artists to, tell me in your own way, yeah, in your however you can express yourself. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you think about when you see colors of the rainbow, or when you see the shape of the rainbow, or when you see anything that has to do with the rainbow. How does it make you feel? And I'm grateful that there's lots and lots and lots of entries of people wanting to express themselves on how they feel when it comes to rainbows. So yeah.
That's very cool. And is that what inspired you to kind of reach out and put this together with a collection of various artists as opposed to just doing it yourself? That thought
You know,
process of rainbows being a shared experience?
yes, that's one. And I also believe in doing things with my brothers. I believe in doing things with people around me. So why not reach out to them and see what could come out of this? We knew it was going to be something big, but not this big. But here
Right,
we are now.
right, right. Front page of Makerspace. So big is definitely a good description of what
Yeah.
you have going on here.
Uh-huh.
And thank you for that introduction. I'd love to speak with each of the artists here on the stream with us as well, and just get a brief introduction, and then a little bit about their pieces and what the thought processes were in them.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how to go about it exactly on the page. You guys have 20 amazing pieces of work. Are you comfortable looking at each one and speaking to it, even if some of the people aren't here, or do you want to just look for the
Oh
specific ones?
yes, we
Okay,
could we
great.
could talk about each and every piece all day.
Awesome. 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 Well, let's start with the number one then.
Oh, Beaver, he's right here. I basically for
Yeah.
him first.
Hey everybody, can everybody hear me?
You can.
All right, cool. It's really nice to be here. First of all, I have to say I'm really excited. So, in case like I make any blunders or something, I'm just really nervous and, excited at the same time. This piece for me is, is very personal. I was very excited when Nine Green Rats approached me with the idea to say, what comes to your mind when you think about the rainbow. And, the rainbow means a lot of things to me, but like, the summary of everything is what I try to like express in this piece. And that is, basically the fact that everything is the same thing and like just literally vibrating at different frequencies and like the colors of the rainbow, for example, are just it's just light vibrating at different frequencies, which is what leads to the different colors you see on the rainbow. So like everything is the same thing, but like it appears different at the same time. So like life as well, like when we think about going through life, events that happen in our individual lives can appear different, but like it's literally all the same thing with like different manifestations. So like that is the basic. That was what I had going on in my head, trying to express all of these things, and the fact that everything is transitory, because like there's no way to get to like one color in the rainbow without going through another one. So like everything is constantly in motion, and yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I love
that's it
it.
for me.
Can you talk a little bit about the dripping and kind of the deconstructive nature of the face?
Yeah, because is it's like the name says in transit. So if it's not dripping, if it's I'm constantly changing basically, right? Everyone is constantly changing. So like sometimes you see my maybe like human skin face, and maybe sometimes you can see deeper than that, and all of it is the same thing. I'm still me at the end of the day, irrespective of the representation that you see at any particular point in time. So yeah.
Awesome. That's a great sharing of your thought process there and what it meant to you. I'd love to hear really briefly, what was your first exposure to NFTs and how did you get involved?
Um, NFTs, how exactly? I'm very interested in like, new things in like the tech space, because I feel like, that's where like the future is headed anyways. So like, late last year, like, maybe like a month or two before Beeple blew up, I don't remember how, but like I'm constantly trying to find out more new information in like the tech space that we can use to move everyone forward. And yeah, I stumbled on NFTs. I've known about crypto for a very long time. I've been involved in that as well for a while. And I talked to Nine Green Rats then, like it was probably like November last year. And since then we've been in the space, trying to make things happen, connecting with people, trying to build a community for ourselves here in Nigeria as well. Yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Love the piece.
thanks.
And next we have Rainbow.
Oh, okay. Now this is I would say it's probably one of my favorites because okay, you know, there's this thing they say about separating the artist from the art. The artist is one of my favorite artists simply because he's always evolving. He's always trying to get better and better at what he does, exploring new styles, you know, basically changing. So when I reached out to him and I was like, okay, what do you think about when Colors of the Rainbow pops into your head? I was like, oh, this is an opportunity for him to actually explore, you know, his own being in the fact that he's always changing. You know, he doesn't stick to one particular style. So when he thinks about Rainbow, he thinks about change and the fact that, you know, nobody is going to stop him from changing. He's unapologetic about that. He would always want to explore. He would always want to, you know, get better, push himself. And for that, I call him the next big thing in the Nigerian creative scene. I've always been saying that to him. So yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces on there.
Very cool. And you know, you talk about always evolving and always being at the forefront of the next big thing. I think it's important for people to understand the context that Nigeria, I believe, is one of the most crypto literate countries in the world, if not the number one, right? You guys are absolutely at the forefront of crypto literacy. So it would make sense that you would have a booming artistic movement in NFT culture because of that. In fact, I think I pulled up some stats here, right? So yeah, 32% of your population is what they would categorize as crypto literate, which crushes anywhere else in the world. And I'm sure that means a lot of great creatives are entering the space.
Oh yeah. Every single day, someone new pops up. I would be like, oh, you started. You know, we try and onboard as many people as we can, simply because it's you know, it's an open ground, uncharted territory, but it makes sense if we band together and we're able to face whatever comes together. So yeah, that's why we keep on bringing new people into the fold and, you know, getting them set up for anything in this space.
Right.
We have people, you know, who are into to music NFTs. We have those who make wearables for the central land. You know, just diverse individuals, but from this part of the world.
Right. I know, you know, sometimes I like to explore the Twitter spaces often because I can hop into rooms and hear conversations that I normally wouldn't day to day. And at one point I was really taken aback and said, wow, there's really a lot of you know, of these artist groups and conversations happening with Nigerian artists more so than a lot of other representation that I saw. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, we have the saying that Niger to the world. Anywhere we are, we try to take over because we're the best, yeah, at whatever we do. Just kidding, though, but
No, I mean,
for
hey,
reals, we're the best.
hey, yeah, what we're looking at here is pretty dope. So I mean, it's a claim that warrants being said for sure. Can you guys tell me a little bit about this piece as well?
Oh yeah, it's some sort of a personal piece for the artist, yeah. Because when I was having a conversation with them, they were like, you know, when they thought about this piece in particular, when they thought about rainbows, it took them back to um, a time where they were going through a whole lot of stuff, and they resorted to alcohol, and you know, it didn't really end well for them. But out of all of that, they found something different. They found something new. They found art. So even though they were like down at that period, resorting to alcohol, at the end of the day, they found something that gave them comfort, something that gave them joy. So that was how this piece in particular came to be. I wish that artist was here right now to talk more about his piece, but I'm sure he will be on Discord watching this. Yeah, he should be on Discord. But yeah,
Okay. Well, we have a
I
go
go
ahead.
on. Okay, so I was gonna say I related more to this piece simply because it tells you know the the experience that I said I was looking for. It shows that more. Like it's like one of the most personal pieces in the collection so far.
Right. And in addition to that, if I could add, I just really love the art style here. It's almost got cell shading, um, and being able to convey. I love that juxtaposition of the joyous colors with the rainbow playing with it, and also the frenetic, like danger and malice of it. It's kind of a cool contrast.
Yeah, it's a beautiful model.
But you said he may be on. They may be on Discord, and if that's the case, I know our Discord community is definitely talking about the pieces and saying how beautiful they are. So here we have Heavenly.
Heavenly, yeah. The artist should be here. Yeah, she's here. Hi, Zita.
Hi. Yeah, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Oh, great.
Can you hear me?
Hello. Yo, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Loud and
Yes.
clear.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Do I go ahead?
They're probably having terrible internet right now. But
Yeah. Okay.
so I will just go ahead and read the description she provided, and that is when I think of the rainbow, its vibrant colors, the sight of it after the rain stops, the feeling of hope, and how delicate it looks. That sounds truly heavenly. And yeah, she's also an artist who evolves every single time. When I knew Zita, she used to make portraits, but all of a sudden I found her trying to experiment some sort of relationships between colors. She started making like acrylic pour kind of feel, and I found it really really interesting. Like I've told her several times, this is really interesting because you expect someone who's trying to make portraits to go more hyper realistic every single time, but no, this is somebody who started looking inwards and started making something out of their feelings in form of acrylic pour kind of feel, and it's all digital, by the way. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, I love the experimentation and love to see artists really expand their boundaries.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Another one of my favorites. Simply because, okay, what will I say? It's another personal piece. It's what I love to see in all of this. Yeah, putting your soul, like putting your own very being into your creations. It's that story, that experience that I want people to share. This is one of the pieces that conveys that, and I wish he was here to talk more about it because we had a brief conversation. When I got the submission, when I approved the submission, just
Yeah, the The whole concept of being underwater and obviously falling, you would assume, right, because of the way the hair is going up, it definitely evokes a lot of questions. So, it's a thought-provoking piece and very, very well executed.
Pretty much.
And here we have Hope.
Hope. Yeah,
Oh,
the artist is right
hi
here.
guys, I'm here. Can you
Oh,
guys hear
great.
me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, hello. So this my piece is it's called Hope. And when nine weeks we started that both of us want to come and do this work together on Color of the Moon, I was clueless at first because I didn't have any idea how to explain what a rainbow meant to me, but looking at it from how I was brought up, from the Christian perspective, because like I'm quite religious, and I was taught that the rainbow came from after God like destroyed the earth with flood, and the rainbow was supposed to be like a promise to show us that he would never do it again, basically. So I took from that, and it was me trying to like speak on what I was going through at the moment in my life, based on I sometimes go through like this mental health struggle, and it just shows that no matter how like dark the days might be at the moment, no matter how like stormy the weather is, no matter crazy rain or thunderstorm that is present in your life, that after a while, like there will be clear clouds, clear skies, and this rainbow will show that things are going to get better. That's basically what I was trying to talk about on this piece. So it's just me trying to speak and shed light on how I'm doing things like in my mental health, and just hope that someone else would like find like meaning and be able to relate to it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and I love the lighting that you used, and how you framed it here. But I'm particularly intrigued with the fact that you made the tears the rainbow, right? So it's like there's beauty in the manifestation of the process of whatever you're going through, right? That there could be a reason for it and there could be beauty found. But like you said, it's all up to someone else's interpretation and experience.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Now this is cool.
Yeah, I know, right? And oh shit, I wish the artist was right here to talk about this a lot more, because they would be in the perfect position to put their expressions to words, because I could remember when we were talking about this, what she told me then was that that's purely traditional, by the way. It's purely traditional, and what she told me was that that particular piece was about great women in general, who rose up against all odds to make a mark for themselves, and in our part of the world, it's a truly remarkable thing, rising up against all odds and standing for what you believe in. And okay, oh, she left me a text. She said the aim of the colors against the black silhouettes is talking about how any determined soul can make a beautiful ending despite the ugly beginnings. And that is why she titled it Shadows of Greatness, according to our words. And it's a really incredible piece, by my standards.
Yeah, I there's so much to take in and trying to interpret it with the meanings with specificity on the pieces that she used to patchwork together, and then the symbolism of everything behind it, as well as what's in the forefront. A very thought-provoking piece. Love this part.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Eye of the Storm.
I think I wasn't the only one making, I wasn't the only one who made the selections. It was like a team of 3 artists, and we all had to have a conversation around, even though this is your vision for the whole Colors of the Rainbow theme. You can't be the only one selecting the pieces simply because you could be biased one way or another. Yeah. So I won't be the only one talking about the pieces. I think a couple of them are here and they will have a thing or two to say. So I don't be the only one hovering above the mic and all. So you guys are here, say something. Thank you.
Yes, please feel free to chime in. The less people have to hear me, the happier they are generally.
Yeah. Beaver.
Well, we will hop into the next one.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do that.
Beaver, did you want to talk about Eye of the Storm?
No, I just wanted to call on somebody else to say something about if they could, because like I'm having like some slight internet issues right now. I would like to say something, but let's move on.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the next piece in the collection is She Knows.
Another very talented artist. Okay, I wasn't the one who reached out to this particular artist in question, even though it was an open call. I had other people reach out to their friends to tell them about this and ask them, what do you feel? The initial question. And this particular submission, when I got it, all I could, I only read about the description, which we can all see right now. I'm trying to get it. Sorry, hold on a minute. Okay. It says the piece explores the concept of clarity and confidence. When one is liberated from unending thoughts and woes of life, she knows her worth and herself. She knows that there is hope of a better future, notwithstanding the past. So it's another personal piece in a way, simply because I do have a question for the artist in question per se, because who is the she that she's talking about? I really want to know more about this character in question also. So yeah, here we are.
Yeah, and I noticed there's a recurring theme here of female empowerment and finding inspiration and defiance and affirmation of self. And so it's very interesting to see that if that'll continue through the other pieces in the collection. I think it may.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, because I also love this collection because we see a lot of female artists, and being from Nigeria, how patriarchal the system is. It's lovely to see women expressing themselves and being true to themselves, especially artistically. And yeah, that's just what I'll say, because there are more female representing pieces and pieces made by a lot of female artists.
Beautiful, and hopefully, as this metaverse that we are kind of part of the evolution and growing here, and the early stages of it, we can get to a point where there doesn't need to be a delineation, right? An artist is an artist, but I love that we can be part of something that gives a platform for artists and for people all over the world for whatever their advocacy is. They can speak freely in this realm and be on equal footing without gatekeepers or people trying to control the messaging. You know, you really are empowered to get out there and express yourself.
Yeah. Can I disappear for like a minute or two, please? Thank you. The others will take over. I'm really sure of that. It's really important.
Sure. So we just pulled up this wallflower piece, which I don't know if the artist is here, but if not, it looks like it's talking to, you know, someone feeling secluded and a bit introverted, and so they create layers on themselves to kind of hold that introversion and keep people at bay, and that's representative of the color. So a very interesting way to interpret the rainbow, and obviously divergent from the others. So I love to see that difference in interpretation and meaning for everybody.
Yeah, I just want to add that, I kind of, see what the artist is trying to convey, because, a lot of artists, they are like introverted. They don't like being out. I know a lot of them. And most times they express themselves with their pieces, with their art. And we can see like the flowers, even though the flowers is covering the face of the figure, it's radiating colors, trying to show like their outward personality, even though it's being hidden. They're trying to show it in a way. Yeah, I really love this piece.
Yeah, and I almost feel like the nude body is a symbol of vulnerability and sharing, right? So feeling like you're out there, and the I guess the layer between, in this case, the layer between the viewer and people that are interpreting the art and the artist.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice. Yeah, this is my favorite, to be honest.
This piece here.
Yeah, it is. It is. I remember when she first showed us, and I was, the colors and even the name, Joseph's shawl, she pulled inspiration from the Bible, because we know in the Bible, Joseph had the coat of many colors, and he had, I think, 11 brothers, um 10 brothers, but taking that, symbolic piece of, the coat of many colors, and giving it a feminine, turning it into a feminine outfit, and putting it on the woman is also, it's very inspiring too, because how, religion, especially Christianity, in a way, it push back against, female, expression, but turning that, and it's really empowering to see this, and that's why I love this piece, and I love her style. She's kind of she initially, Sylvia, yeah, I've had some interaction with her, and her style is kind of close to mine in a way, but I think it's better. She has this manga anime aesthetic to her pieces, and I like how she, doesn't make it too anime-ish, if you understand what I mean, but she also gives it an African, Nigerian, black vibe with her style.
Yeah, and I like the way she looks like she's glaring right through me, right? And
Yeah,
I feel like the nose ring is like a sign of defiance. Like, here I am. And yeah, really is a powerful piece.
yeah, and it feels like you can actually see her body, but even though everywhere is dark, you can still see her full figure in a way.
Right. Very powerful. I don't know if the viewers at home can hear, but there's music here accompanying this as well for kind of a more immersive experience.
So can I talk about this piece? Because
Sure.
I was very involved in like the creation of this one as well, and like the person that created this one is also very close to me as well. So Kel Savage made this one, and he's basically talking about having patience and like the need for allowing things flow. And this one to me, like when we've interacted like about this piece, this one just reminds me about this saying, that says, after like the rain comes the sunshine. And like how do you say this in English? Because I'm thinking about it in German right now. But like the crossover between when the rain stops and when the sunshine comes is where you actually see a rainbow, and is a sign of things are going to get better, and yeah, good stuff. But like you need to let things flow before that can happen. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that bit. It definitely gives it a lot of great context, and I can relate to that when you describe that. That definitely hits home.
Yeah.
Now this is very intriguing. A lot going on here.
Yes, I think I'll also talk about this one because yeah, I also am close to this person. Um yeah, this one, the person who created this one, Majin Blue, is actually so what he had in mind, talking about the rainbow, he told me talking to me about this, he was talking about how, the rainbow, like if you think about it in a way, like if you go like maybe in a reverse direction, the rainbow comes back to white light. But like, what happens, like what would be like the opposite of white light would be like a singularity, like a black hole type situation where like the light is trapped and like you have no colors basically, and trying to get the light out, and being in an environment that doesn't really let you shine the way you would shine normally, and really just trying to just be you despite odds basically. Yeah.
Wow, and another beautiful a beautiful manifestation of defiance here. But man,
Yeah.
just the concept of this is the personification of a singularity is blowing my mind, right? Like that's pretty deep, man. That's pretty crazy. Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty dope. Okay, so a colors of the rainbow story, and this has a lot of texture.
Yeah, this is Nine Green Rats. Is he here? It should be. Yeah, please do talk about your stuff, man.
And I think he mentioned that he had to step out for a moment, so maybe we'll come back to this one. But I really like
All
the
right.
depiction of the texture here. And here we have the sweet and pale. And it looks like the artist is actually with us.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi, what's good?
Well, obviously, this artwork that you submitted is for sure. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, my name is Kill. This is a piece I did for Colors of the Rainbow. It's a piece that I did last month, November, based on like men's mental health. And it was a piece that I did when I was going through a whole lot, you understand? It's some form of a satirical joke, but at the same time it holds a whole lot of pain in between the lines and in between what it represents. Whenever I try to paint, I try to like create a visual language that is so lucid that anyone can understand, like even from my mom to anyone. And for this piece, or for the whole entire thing I wanted to do, I think I wanted to like create some form of motion that you could see, like some form of motion where you felt like as if this person was in a movement, or it was he was halted in a movement. You understand? I've had this idea way longer than I could actually even put it down. I think I had this idea in university, but I think I have a brain where like I can keep like mental maps of like what I want to do, and then just wait for that time to come and then just explode on it. And it comes from the idea of loving someone and not having them love you back. And it comes from the idea of loving someone and having them love you back, and also let like what happens is that life takes its full courses. You understand? You mostly see like the planetary body at the back shining its beams through the person, and it impales his head, it impales his chest, it impales his stomach. You understand? Like these are the places where you would feel you would feel your inside churn when you lose that person that you really, really always wanted or wanted to be with. You know, when they say like when they tell us to put our feelings on our wrist, we pull it we put it, they say pull our feelings on our sleeves, and then we put it on our sleeves. But then it's like when we get to hurt, we don't feel those things on our sleeves. We feel it in our chest, and we feel it in our head and everything. And it's a sweetened pill because he is still holding on to the thorny rose, still sipping off the nectar from the thorny rose, and somehow, some way, it feels sweet, but at the same time, he feels that pain. I think I learned like very early in my digital career to like always learn how to juxtapose like really dark settings in my head with like really bright colors. So when he hit me up and told me that, oh, there was a Colors of the Rainbows project, I told him I already have a piece for it, like immediately, because like for me, when it comes to all these kind of things, it's just purpose. So once he just hit me up, I was like, yeah, I already have a piece, and this felt really, really right. It's just the way I use the light. I use a whole lot of light. I use a whole lot of colors to illustrate a whole lot of things, and it makes it look really, really beautiful and all. But in all, I think this piece is a really nice piece for me because it's been a while. This thing was just swimming in my head, just looking for a way to represent a love that was not reciprocated, but at the same time, the feeling of being with the person was an amazing one, and it comes from a personal thing too. But yeah, it's just my feelings on the visual canvas or the digital canvas. Yeah.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. I think I think the bliss of being with someone could be described the same way, right? I think there's a thin line. I could never do this justice talking about this piece better than you did, but I'd just like to share that. You know that feeling when you look at a roller coaster or you look off of a high cliff and you can kind of just feel in your stomach, like I like you can relate. You're like, I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get looking at this piece. So definitely kudos to you for evoking that kind of very visceral emotional response.
Yeah, kudos to you too. I've heard you in the past like 20, 30 minutes just go through people's art, and you seem to actually really understand like where they're actually coming from. Even better than me. Like you be saying some things and I'd be like, whoa, I didn't see that. You understand? So kudos to you too.
Well, I appreciate it, but I'm just the mouthpiece. The art is what's pulling it out of me. So props to all of the artists that have put together pieces for this collection. And here
Definitely.
we have the Toast to the Universe.
Does somebody else want to help
Is me
like with
here?
this one? Kill, you want to do this?
Well, funny thing is that I've seen this piece for the longest. It's been when he dropped this, I saw it, you understand? And first of all, I'm really, really enthusiastic about his style. His style is very, very his style is very, very unique. His style is very, very his own, you understand? It's how he uses them colors, but at the same time, I think he's trying to I think he's trying to approach this because like everyone finds way to really approach this. I think he tried to approach this in the way of a goddess of the land and everything. You know, funny enough is that I can't really explain this piece fully, but for what it is, I know that Muichi is an amazing artist because I've been following him for a while. And when this thing dropped, I think this one got more likes than even mine, and I was like, oh, yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely got nuanced layers to it, and the style is man, I could see this dropped into as a gaming asset in 3D, or walking around the metaverse somewhere. So kudos to the artist for sure. Definitely it adds a lot to the collection. And here we have Deborah, who has a very unique eye color.
Hi, can I
Hello.
do this?
Sure.
All right, cool. So Pascal. I think at this point, everybody on this collection is my friend because I actually know everybody that's featured on this collection to an extent. Um, yeah, and this one is also a very close person to me as well. And here is basically trying to depict like the face of someone who like the first person who was queer to him, and you know the environments that we find ourselves in is it's getting better now, but years ago the idea of someone like having like a different sexuality from like what was generally accepted was very not you know it wasn't something anybody took lightly at all. Like if you're queer in Nigeria like 10 years ago, you were not going to have an easy time at all, to say it very nicely. And yeah, this is basically a tribute to like this person who you know had a really hard time just living life because of his sexuality. And another like um it's just I'm trying to say something. The words are coming to me in German. Like, I have to translate to English. I'm so sorry about this. But yes, something for the queer people. And, is whatever it is that you are in this world, you're fine. You're perfect the way you are. And there's nothing wrong with you. So, like, yeah, cheers to rainbows, man.
Yeah, and I like that in the description it talks about really wanting to capture her face, right? And the way that
Yeah.
she likely felt dealing with that at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And here we have Stains of Purpose.
Yeah, hi. Hi, can you hear me?
We can.
All right, cool. Yeah, this is Stains of Purpose. So I think I was on a Twitter space with Beaver, and then he mentioned the whole color of the rainbow collection. I was like, yo, I think this is something I mean, because I've always wanted my art on a collection, that would be on, any platform whatsoever. I didn't even care if it was Makerspace. But yeah, I reached out to him, asked a few questions what the collection should be about, and then he said I should just make any interpretation that I had in my head of what colors of the rainbow should be like. And so I said, okay, cool. And yeah, I mean, like, this had to be colorful. I had to, like, because if you check, like, most of my work is either monochromatic, or it's a combination of two colors or something, like. So I had to, like, go all out and find a way to, like, make something real colorful, real vibrant, real I just wanted something that will be in people's face, when they look at it. So yeah, like, I had to, like, actually go out of myself, my comfort zone, and make something that was actually like a burst of color that would be real attractive. So yeah, that got me to make this piece.
Okay. And here you talk about you know, the skin condition and being a night owl and the stress
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
exacerbating it.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, like a few months ago, I I had this I was diagnosed with this skin condition that it's kind of aggravated by stress. So because I like to work and play through the night using Netflix. Sometimes I'm working, sometimes I'm rendering, sometimes I'm, just messing around. So um it kind of builds up stress, and especially with this whole new NFT wave, being on Twitter spaces at night and all that. So that build up of stress kind of like aggravates the skin condition, kind of leaves like little scars here and there. But yeah, like being able to find that balance, between work and, like resting, so like prioritizing sleep and all that was a new thing for me. And yeah, it's gotten better since. So like, the I was just trying to with this piece, I was just trying to, like, illustrate, like, uh yeah, it's taking a toll. I mean, the stress is taking a toll on my body, but the work I make is still beautiful. Like the work, like these colors were just an expression of the beauty that I see in my work, So, and the scars are kind of like why I called this piece "Stains of Purpose" because, yeah, I guess it makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So often the beauty is found in the imperfection, right? The things that make pieces or people different. I
yeah,
once made a song and I said something to the effect of um, "Scars of life, striped tigers." Right. So I think that it's something that you can wear as a badge of honor, and knowing that it served that purpose for you, and it was cathartic with your art. So thank you so much for sharing.
yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
And here we are entering the cosmos.
Beaver is here again. I hope you guys are not tired of hearing my voice at this point.
No, not at all.
Yeah, this one is also like a piece that I also have a personal relationship with because like I really understand this one. Um, this was made by Steph, and he put like so much of himself into this that I connect with this one very very personally as well. And this one he is basically trying to like emphasize how like colors like resonates. Like when you talk about colors, he's thinking about emotions and expression in all the ways possible. If you look closely at this piece, there is so much detail, inexhaustive in it, and there's a lot of messages, but like I'll just try and talk about the things that I can still remember now. You can see the flowers, the colors, the combination of everything is basically a jab at like just expressing as freely as you can. And then there's the three circles that you have around the eyes that like are basically trying to highlight the fact that we live in a universe of trinities. We tend to talk about things, human beings like by default tend to talk about things from like a dualistic perspective, where like you have like right and wrong, white and black, good or bad, stuff like that. But like we almost always forget like the third very important component. I mean, yeah, it's very important as well, which is the spectrum between this these poles, right? And without like the three without this third component that people forget most of the time, everything's are going to be out of balance. And it's trying to highlight this in this piece, so like we remember to look outside of the two things that present themselves to us by default, and just try to be more understanding and loving towards each other, like express and just the whole beautiful love package. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love encapsulating that and calling it the cosmos, right? It's enveloping. It's everything
Yeah.
that sustains what we are, and even beyond what we know is our plane of existence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in the same vein, the universe is a woman. So that's ordered appropriately there, right? We went from the
Let's go.
cosmos to the universe.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to talk about this piece because she's a photographer I really respect from Lagos, Nigeria. Her name is Warola, and she's just starting, but she's really an amazing one. She has a thing of she gives a very feminine perspective of every of her piece. You understand? Everything to her is female, and I like it. You understand? And for her to basically participate in this project, you understand? This was a very visual kind of thing. This was a very digital kind of project. You understand? But she still came with the photography at the same time with the makeup. You understand? And still, I don't know the particular angle she came from when it comes to like concept, because like when it comes to art, I think we mostly base it off of like color composition and like concept. You understand? When it comes to color, we had like the rainbow, and then the composition, we had like the portraiture. You understand? Concept is the only thing that because I would never want to talk on someone's concept, but the fact that she still like submitted for like the whole for the whole competition was actually an amazing one. And most of our portraits are just feminine, 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 and it's a nice thing because she uplifts like the women creatives over here in like Lagos, Nigeria. So when she meant like the universe was feminine, she literally meant that though.
Right. She personified it, and I absolutely love this. We've actually, Whale as a project. we collect pieces that we think are timeless and have historic value and things of that nature, and we've definitely leaned in on photography as being a very important medium that's really emerged quite strongly since the spring run up, with amazing creatives entering the space and bringing more of their work. So again, another one here who's making waves and hopefully continuing to push the artistry forward in Nigeria. And now we go from the cosmos to the universe to the abyss.
Yeah, this is
I like it.
very well rounded. Kel, you want to do this?
Yeah, like he said, we went from the cosmos to the universe to the abyss. You understand? I like the fact that I don't know. There's something about these things that you just, I don't know. There's something about these things, the cosmos and the abyss. I don't know. They're kind of connected in a way. But I think this person, I'd like to read this person's poetry personally because I think poetry is something where it's not really sometimes when we make this piece looks like something Rembrandt like this looks like something really Rembrandt kind of thing, understand, with the way they use light and like how you see like the instead of the rainbow feels like a city itself, the rainbow feels like a destination if anyone notices, and you understand, and I like it like that. It feels like as if the cloud, this feels like this is a cloud, like a top stratosphere of cloud and everything. And this feels like as if like there's a boat just flowing along with it. But let me read the poetry for you guys so we can understand like what they're really talking about. Um Depth of the abyss, a pit of few or no return, with no comparisons and different in all minds. An ocean of deep thoughts are the stories untold yet to be revealed. In our imaginations, we are travelers of earthly walks. Our thoughts move faster than the speed of light, and the consequences of these uncontrolled thoughts can lead us to falling deeply into the abyss. But regardless, we are who we are, scaling through. We must, in a world filled with confusion and chaos, many live in a twilight space. A twilight space, our thoughts and imagination. Funny enough, this reading this piece reminds me of what Niche said about like our thoughts and just delving into them. And honestly, if anyone hasn't read Niche here, like I think you should start your process and everything. But this is an amazing piece, and I love the way he just speaks about the abyss as a thought, like in your head, in your mind. Because if anyone notices, your mind is infinite as hell. And this is coming from someone who spends a whole lot of time in his mind trying to find some new idea or try to find some new imagination that is not new under the sun. So for me, this is really an amazing piece because I didn't really expect anyone to take colors of the rainbow and then just put it like this. So yeah.
Wow, thank you for breaking that down for us. And I would love to have you read anything that I need to sound impressive, because you have an amazing voice, and you read that in a way that made me want to hear it again and again. I'll have to play it back when we get the recording of this interview. Here we have Beautiful Inside Out.
This is by Frederick Idele, and Frederick Idele he's a new cool cat on the space, on the new cool cat on the NFT space, and he came in a time when he really needed it. That's first of all. I'd like to like first highlight the person because yeah, he came at a time where he really needed to be here, because if not, I don't think he would have lived much longer, because he had a lot, and we all as human beings rallied around him, beside him, with him, everything, and we have all been rallying against rallying with him, you understand. And one thing I like about Idele is his primitivism. Like he has a very primitive style. Like he's not a person who will shout in colors and everything. And if you look through this whole piece, you can only see like the rainbow, that sneak peek of the rainbow in his eyes, you understand. And I can tell you that from an empathetic experience, like I know what this guy has gone through, like with the loss of his father and everything, and him having to come back into being an artist and everything. And if you're in the room right now, bro, I'm your biggest fan, basically. For the description, he said, "Beautiful inside out speaks about true beauty out of the innermost part of your being. I connect to this art, to an experience in my life where I needed to prove myself right to someone, but instead of doing that, I maximized my true character and triumphed." So he said that he connected with this art where he needed to prove to someone in his life that they were more than that, but instead he just left it, and then he just continued being him, and then he triumphed. And I think it speaks a lot to, it's not a light thing that we're talking about here. It's a very dark story that we're talking about here. So I like the fact that he's still coming up strong every day. And yeah.
Uh, yeah, I just want to add because I mean, on the side, I'm also Idele's like biggest fan. I love his pieces because he tells multiple stories in just one piece. Like he draws a figure, but he draws, multiple illustrations in the figures. And if you like trace the drawing from the head to the toe,
Yo,
like
that's true.
that,
That's
like
true, bro.
if you look up his other works, I mean, on like maybe Foundation, or there's this piece he put up recently, and I just looked at it. It was like two figures, a man and a woman, but inside their bodies, even though they are well detailed, you still see inside their bodies they are telling another story. And I just love the way he also renders his pieces, the faces, like it's telling you could just know who the character from the story in their body. And I just love his style. And again, it's not digital. His works aren't digital. They're all physical pieces, if I'm certain. Yeah.
I think that's why I really like them more, because of the fact that they're not digital. You understand? You can just see like the etches of like crayons and like charcoal and everything. It's I think for me that's one thing I like about abstract and primitivism. Is like you can see all that whole force and the emotion behind it. You understand? And that was the reason. This was the first style, abstract style, that really spoke to me,
Yeah,
hands
I
down.
that I mean I think it's the next one. I think two pieces after this. Yeah, the one, yes, the one on the yes, that one. That one. Yes, I should. This is the piece that I was talking about. Like I just so love it. When I saw it, I just fell in love with it instantly. And I can never forget this piece because this was the first piece of art that I actually zoomed in on my phone and just went through the details. Like even though I'm like I'm asking myself what's in his head, like what is this guy thinking whenever he's making his works. And it's just so lovely. I'm a big fan of Idile, even though I don't say it too much.
Wow, even look here, the small details of what looks like a home in the clouds there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I also spotted that one too.
Wow, thank you for pointing that out. What an amazing artist. I find it interesting. It's almost an amalgamation of two very revered artists in the legacy NFT space. Hackatao, who draws within the boundaries of characters often, right, with text and different figures and kind of drawing, so to speak. And then Coldy, who will often take, eyes and body parts from other people from his decentralized series and kind of make a collage, so to speak. Only this artist literally is doing it manually with with crayons and pencil, and it's just absolutely incredible. And here we have Glory.
So this is a little backstory on this artist. His name is Iooss Imagery. He calls himself the African people because he makes renders every day, and people think he's crazy, but like we definitely know that he's going to be the next African people. Um, this piece is an amazing one, and the reason why I like it because it's there's a what do they call it? It's a different thing from what he normally does. This artist is mostly known for just using auroral gold every time, multiple times. That's his style. But this changed up a little bit. You understand? He used the whole of pink in this, and in the description he says, "At the end of the tribulation and in the midst of nothingness, we look up to heaven for glory, because that's where we can bank our hopes." lift us up into the skies with rainbow-like beams. I like the fact that he said lift us into the skies with like rainbow-like beams, because it makes me feel like as if I'm energy. Like I've never felt like as if I'm black or white or like I'm African or this. I've just felt like as if I'm just pure energy and pure vibes. And he also relates that with the final fold of like existence, or like with the final fold of what everyone thinks is existence, which is like heaven as his resting place. And that made me, it made me calm, because like knowing, especially when you lose someone in your life, it's like you start to think about the fact that where are they safe, are they chilling, like that kind of thing. And this felt like this was a nice piece. You understand? I like the way the woman is in the middle, just being lifted up. It has a whole lot of biblical references, and if that's what you've noticed about like most of Nigerian artists, is that they're really like, especially the ones that had like they're really brought up good. You understand? They really have like a whole lot of biblical references. So this one is one that has a whole lot of biblical references, but at the same time in a very Afrofuturistic manner. You understand? I like the way everywhere feels like it's pink. Even the scenery, he's bringing us into his world, and the scenery already looks really calming. Understand? I have an amazing use of pink, but he just kills it. You understand? The fuchsia pink, he just kills it.
Yeah, and you're right. It's it brings it to a whole different plane of who we're looking at, who the characters are, and where it is because of the pink. It kind of just takes it outside of our normal paradigm and says this is energy, this is something beyond. And this is a cool piece. Do not urinate here.
So,
Yeah,
Kel,
yeah.
can I
Is
do
Vivi
this?
around? Is Vivi
He's
around?
actually
Is
here,
Eli
but he wants
around?
me to do the intro for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm going to read the description because this is very, very controversial, I would say. But let's get into the description first. So this piece explores a juxtaposition of everyday Nigerian life where it is a common practice for people to urinate exactly where they shouldn't, where they shouldn't urinate, just to disregard the rules. And the human mind is one that is modeled by rebellion, which keeps the fire in us alive. Enjoy your life, stay rebellious. So exactly what you said, Nightmare, before about the rebellion and just fighting against like everything else around us. Basically is this is another jab at that, basically. And what Kyo just said about being beings of light and everything, so like embodying like all of the colors, all of the things. We're beings of light, and when you think of light, you think of white, and white breaks down to what? The colors of the rainbow. Full circle back. Eli, do you still have anything to say about this? Because I think you do. Please. Eli is not here. Wow, surprise.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyways,
yeah. Don't
Kyo.
worry. Like,
No, kill,
yeah.
go. You go.
Okay. So, I was there in the conception of this piece. That's why I'd like to talk about this piece,
You
because
too.
that's the point. Like, first of all, Eli is an amazing person. He's also my collector, and at the same time, I love the fact that he just jumped on this, because it was. I like the fact that Eli doesn't shy away from the things of everyday reality in Nigeria, and I like it because it's what it is. You understand? Just so much we don't so much listen. You understand? There's so much of a disregard for stated rules here. You understand? Like when it's stated, the rules, sometimes every time we always want to disregard it. One thing I like about this piece was like the glow on his head, but then you're looking about it like, it's just the glow on his head, but then you can see like the drink down there, which is like has that rainbow effect, and like what is feeling in his body, like his shirt is the rainbow effect. I think like for him, he was like the feeling of alcoholism, first of all. You understand? Always having to like take stouts and like pee and take stouts and like pee. You understand? He's living it. You understand? He like when he said that the human mind is one modeled by rebellion. I definitely did relate with that, because I mean, if anybody knows what we're living in right now in Lagos, Nigeria, it's definitely a very rebellious society. And he just captured that in a very, very short snippet, in a very, very abstract short snippet of what do they call it? Of basically challenging anything, you understand? And it's public urination is a thing here, but one day it's definitely gonna stop. You understand? And I like the way he just. That's why I said I like Eli. He doesn't shy away from the bad things of society. At the same time, everybody wants to draw some beautiful things, some sky, some rainbow. He's talking about like the deep, dark. You understand things that we're not really trying to speak about or we're not trying to dredge up.
Yeah, this is one of the pieces that I had to do a double take before our interview, and kind of, I had so many questions when I saw it, and I guess that's the beauty of art, right? Sometimes that's kind of part of the performance, of leaving people with questions. But I wondered, why is his head a light bulb? Is it because he's illuminating by being defiant? Maybe that means they're illuminated, right? And then I found it interesting. Obviously, it talks about the defiance being positive, right? And that's the rainbow is depicted here in the urination, but likewise, it's in what we can assume is alcohol now, right? On the other side, right?
Yeah.
So on both ends, right? It empowers you to be rebellious through having this different, mental state. But also the biggest thing I had to kind of wrestle with in my head was the rainbow on the shirt with the target on it, right? So
Yeah,
is it by choice? If you're defiant, you become a
no.
target.
Well, let me put this. Everyone in our society is already a target. You understand? We have a
Okay.
thing where the government now is trying to like make everyone stooges. You understand? Like if you're trying to make money above like where the government is not supposed to make you make money, you understand? They always want to sequester, they always want to keep you in poverty, you understand? So you're always we're always a target, especially for the youths, because like we're more technologically advanced than them, you understand? So they see it as a way of okay, it's going to break the democracy, but no, it's not breaking the democracy. It's breaking the chess game, like the fact that we are always going to be pawns, always having to work till we are 30, to always have to like make a living, you understand? Now we're having to like make money ourselves. We're having to be entrepreneurs and everything. We're having to change the world, you understand? And they don't see it. And it's a thing where I think this comes from every time, you understand? Like every time you are always target. If you ask any of these artists in this room right now, like whether they're like anyone has been a target, they will tell you yes, from male to female. You understand? It's what happens when you live in a rebellious society. At the same time, you always try to rebel above what you're being given, which is basically nothing.
Right. And here it talks about, that not being specific even to a culture, that it's a human nature to want to do that. And it's obviously amplified by, I'm sure, being there in Nigeria. I actually have a friend in Nigeria who had all kinds of challenges over the past year because of, well, I wouldn't say challenges. He's figured out other ways, but he had concerns when there were different regulations coming where they're trying to stop his banks from allowing him to be involved with crypto and all kinds of things. So, I had a little taste of some of that angle of what they would try to restrict, let alone all of the other societal things, I'm sure. And here we have the last piece, the colors of melody.
Yeah, hi. I'm the creator of this piece. Yeah, my name is Philip. I'm a 2D illustrator. I do also do 2D animation and 3D arts. This piece, Colors of the Melody. First, before I talk about it, when I saw the title of the collection, Colors of the Rainbow, one thing just came to my mind, and I'm going to play it right now. I hope you guys can hear me. I see the different colors of the rainbow. Which one I could take? All that glitters ain't gold. It's all about the ego. Yeah, so
You know,
that's on.
purple will be all right. This man said
Yeah, you know
Baku.
the
I just
song. So
kidding.
this song it's by Black Magic, and I so connect with the song because I remember the first time hearing the song. I was on Easter break back in high school, and I was going home, but I couldn't go home because my mom traveled and I was the only one. So I had to stay with a friend. And I remember I was in his car, his mom's car, and I was like so sad because I was going to a new place. But I heard this song on the radio and it was so calming. And like since then, I always, anytime I want to calm myself, I just play that song. So when I heard Colors of the Rainbow, I was like, oh, Black Magic. And I just, played that song to try and get an idea of what I was going to make for, the collection. And I just, felt myself just closing my eyes. And when that part, I see the colors of the rainbow, I just was just thinking about, musical notes, just flashing and like moving around. And I was like, oh yeah, what about if we could see music? I mean, we listen to music, our music only works on our sense of hearing. But what if music could work on our sense of hearing, seeing, even touch? And I just wanted to, create a piece talking about music with the colors of the rainbow. And I chose because my art, I do mostly art talking about African culture or pop culture. So I also do like fan art of Nigerian musicians. I've done art about Fela fighting zombies because of his song Zombie. So for this piece, I thought about who is the most colorful Nigerian musician out there, and you can't, everybody know hands down it's Lagbaja, because Lagbaja is one of the, one of the people in the frontiers of Afro beats, and he has this colorful. He always has a colorful costume. They are not the same. He has different colorful costumes.
No one has ever seen his face. Just so you
Yeah,
know, guys.
yeah. So, and again, he dons this colorful outfit because he wants you to concentrate more on the music than the person. So he wants you to focus more on the sound, more of on the music. So I just thought about, what if Labaja is playing a concert with the moon behind him, and he just plays from his saxophone, and you watching him play, you could see the notes just coming out from the end of the saxophone, and illuminating the whole place around him, and you could just come towards you and you could touch each musical note. And what if if he changes the pitch of his tone, or he just he does a sharp beat or whatever, and the colors will just change. That would be a very beautiful thing to see. So I just decided to create a piece talking about music and colors, and also dedicating it to Lagbaja, because this is actually my first Lagbaja fan art. I know my second one, the first one was was actually like a joke, but this one I know I put a lot of thoughts into this, and I'm so happy with how it came out, and I'm so happy it was chosen to be part of this collection.
Well, thank you for sharing about it. I really like that the shape of the notes as they come out almost takes on a snake-like shape. Like I feel as if it's alive on its own and changing direction with the notes, like you had said and whatnot. So a very cool interpretation of music and a very cool leveraging of the rainbow.
Yeah, because again, when you listen to music, you're not stiff. Like in the human body can't stay one place except from when you're dead. So it's the same thing with music. When we listen to music, even though we may not like it, a part of us is going to move. So definitely, the musical notes won't just like come out like a bullet. It's going to, swirl around with every note. Now, even musicians, when they play, they also move. So he's definitely going to have to shake the notes too if they come out from his saxophone.
Now when I hear music for the rest of the day, I'm going to be seeing it move around in that kind of formation. Thanks to that wonderful explanation. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Well, everyone, it's been an absolute pleasure talking through the amazing pieces and how it all came together. I want to remind everyone watching the stream that, if you go to Makersplace right now, it's the header, and the collection's called Colors of the Rainbow. So some of these amazing pieces that we had shared today are still up for offers and can be obtained by collectors that are interested. But even if you're not collecting, I'd encourage everyone to go and really check out the pieces. They're amazing, a lot of thought-provoking concepts involved in them, and an incredible execution. So everybody on today, thank you so much for joining us and sharing with the whale and the NFT community. And I wish you the best of luck going forward with your pieces and what else you do in the NFT space.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Have a
Thanks
great
so much
one.
for having us. Have a great day.